Hey everyone, welcome to the next Fork or Spork. You might expect it to be at RMC, but I still have no goddamn clue if I actually like the server culture of RMC, so we're doing it on a server that I'm sure of my opinions on. Funkystation is an MRP server, finally. You've seen Starlight, you've seen me play on there, and it flip-flops between LRP and MRP quite often. Funkystation, in addition to having the benefits of all the Goob Station code, has an MRP player base. The roleplay level's medium, and it's medium the whole time. There's room for dicking around, but most people are dicking around or doing wildly disruptive things. There's room for serious gritty RP without having some shitter come in and be like, "Hey, I'm Tighter John, what's going on, dude?" So, yeah, I recommend it. And if you're watching this right now, the Saturday that this comes out, Funkystation is currently doing a new player event on their station Cirno, CIRCO. Or C-I-R-C... Circo? Just search up Funky. It's the one you actually have access to. They do a new player event where you're able to just play on the server without getting whitelisted. This is a whitelisting server, and I don't really know if they deny whitelists at all, so if you want to get whitelisted, just go on their Discord, ask for a whitelist, simple as. But if you want to just try out the server or not go for a whitelist, your call. I mean, obviously, I don't know what their whitelist approval rating is because I am the textbook example of an approved player. I'm literally a YouTuber with pages upon pages of good behavior on servers. Anyway, enough of that. We're going to talk about what makes Funkystation, what sets it apart from other servers, why I like the roleplay level, and just kind of generally what I'd advise expecting when going on the server. First of all, this situation right here. This guy is more than willing to let himself get surgerized by a new player to teach him. Ignoring the fact that this kind of breaks immersion because he's awake during a surgery. But yeah, they're more than willing to help out new players. And that is checkbox number 1 of, is this server good or is it bad? If your server is hostile to new players and makes no attempt to teach them what's going on, your server sucks and you need to try harder. And yes, this applies to every server, no matter how advanced it is. The excuse, "we expect you to know Space Station," is not an excuse. Frontier, take notes. Delta, especially, take notes. Good lord. And the next level I need to look at is, what level of roleplay is it actually? Because Space Station 14 has a bit of a problem where a MRP encompasses a lot of servers. Like, there's MRP, which is Starlight, which is very close to just being LRP. There's MRP, which is Harmony, which is right in the middle. There's MRP, which is Delta V, which is basically just HRP. There's MRP, which is RMC, which is basically an entirely different game, and half the people on it are playing HRP roles like MPs, and the other half are playing LRP roles like the Riflemen. Like, there's a lot of different roleplay levels. And where I would put Funky is dead set in the middle, square. Right down the center. Right down the center. See, there's room for screwing around like what I just did, where I saw a box that was in my way and started beating the crap out of it without getting an admin on my ass going, "Oh, you can't do that." But at the same time, nobody's going to immediately start hitting me with a crowbar for doing that. Instead, they're going to use their words, which, seriously, a lot of LRP servers see you breaking anything, some random tighter will show up to start beating you over the head because, "Oh, he's valid!" Blah. So, yeah. There's room for dicking around, but you're still expected to be mostly in character. It's nice. It's a good middle ground. It really puts the M in MRP. Delta. Anyway, the other thing that I want to talk about is what the benefit of being on a fork, which may seem a bit weird, but let me explain. This is a fork off of, I believe, Goobstation with some of its own unique features. And you might be wondering, okay, what's the advantage of playing on a fork? I'm just going to get the updates to things like, say, like Goob makes a new surgery update. The fork is going to get that later. This has some advantages, however. See, I'm going to use Wizard's Den as an example purely because they are, well, technically the main. Essentially, WizDen has a thing where they would upload changes at complete random in all in one patch. And so things like refactors for different things, which for those of you who don't know are just changing the back end of different like systems, and like systems that just straight up change how one aspect works and how a different aspect works, or change some random piece of code will get added at the same time without being fully tested with each other's changes in effect. This would cause instances like, let me give you a famous one, the one lung exploit / bug, where if the server lagged in a certain way, every single person on the station would be breathing with the same lung, including mobs. So essentially, Vox lungs would be like everyone's lung or a human lung, or I forget the specifics, but the result is hilarious. You end up with situations where the entire station is suffocating because one dude isn't breathing properly because he jumped in a locker to go SSD or something. Now, WizDen has since moved to a bi-weekly update system to avoid situations exactly like this from taking place. But several things still do slip through. Like, just recently, for example, there was a bug that just straight up prevented guns from being bolted. I forget which fork / server that was. I'm not sure if it was WizDen, but it was a bug that took place. Now, WizDen forks that don't have auto-update enabled were completely unaffected by this issue. This is because the forks, in line with being a fork, didn't update immediately because they had their own changes that they needed to test. Because, like, okay, let's go with Starlight as an example here. Starlight has a bunch of things on its own that it added, and it has yet to confirm if a Wizard Den change would end up affecting the changes on their server. So they have to test all of the merges from upstream in order to avoid the entire game exploding. Forks, as such, are often more consistent, and you won't randomly log on to the entire game being broken, at the cost of not having the most latest features immediately available. That's an advantage of being on a fork that I think can really not be understated, and honestly, it's why I play on mostly forks nowadays. Now, you may be wondering, how does that affect you as a player? See, Funkystation uses a lot of Goobstation code. In fact, it's built on Goobstation code. Goobstation has a whole bunch of things about licensing and copyright and the right of the game and like all this other crap that, let's be real, no one cares about. As a player, here's how it affects you. Goobstation, because they do weird things upstream or do whatever with stuff that I don't really give a shit about, means you get more content as a player than other servers. However, because it's Goobstation, some of the things they add are incredibly janky. Like the time they decided to add the Tide Mine. This is where Funkystation comes in. Being on a fork, they pick and choose what to add from Goobstation for their environment. So, for example, you could do horrific things like what you just saw there, where a guy put a figurine in his chest. Or the Funkystation devs could have decided that that didn't fit with their vision for the server and just not added it. This is the advantage of playing on a fork. And it helps you keep with the roleplay level. Because, again, it really doesn't matter what content is on a server. You can't just add anything to any server. Like, imagine if you added RMC's weapon systems to any sort, like, standard space station server. It's a massive overcomplication for something that really doesn't need to be that difficult. Now imagine if you added the complete and chaotic surgery system of Station and Funkystation by extension to RMC. Or if you added the cloning pods to RMC. That would break the balance of the game and affect a lot more than I think people realize. Again, there's a balance. Imagine if you added a tide bind to Cosmoatic Drift, which is the only HRP server that I've seen so far, which has limited uptime and a very restrictive whitelist that I haven't bothered to check to see if I can get into. Imagine if you just added straight up just the tide bind to that server. It doesn't fit with the roleplay level, and that's just kind of what you have to deal with. Some servers are going to be wild, wacky, and chaotic, and some servers are going to be slower, evenly paced, and have more or less unique content. It's trade-offs. There is no perfect server, and I find myself flip-flopping between different levels of roleplay and different servers constantly. Hell, I don't play or record much of my rounds on Goob, but Goob is a server designed for chaos. But if you bring that kind of chaos onto a server like this, kind of ruin it. Again, trade-offs. And this gets into the main thing that I believe makes a server good or bad. The administration. You can have all of the great, unique content in the world, but if the admins and the server owners create a hostile environment where people spend more time hating on each other instead of enjoying the positive aspects of the game, you're going to end up with a terrible, terrible server. And let's just say if teenagers get involved, it can often result in more chaos than the Nine Hells themselves. But from what I've seen on the Funkystation Discord and Funkystation itself, it's relaxed. It's chill. Like, okay. My approximation for if a server's shit or if it's good or has a good community is pretty simple. Can I, as a new player, end up blowing everyone up with an anomaly without getting people having constant A-helps and complaining at LOC about it? As just what just happened here on the screen. You've seen that. If the answer is, yeah, people are allowed to screw up and get people killed, and just sometimes Space Station happens, then it's a good server. If not, then people are a little too bitchy, and without an attitude adjustment, the server will die. Yeah. The rest of this is just going to be the round playing out as is, because being medical, it takes forever for anything interesting to actually happen. So we're just going to go to the important moments that I believe show off the culture of the server well. And hey, you might think the culture of the server is lame or cringe or not what you want to play. And that's fine. Different servers for different people. And all this video is here to do is show you what Funky's culture is like and just how it operates. You expect me to cut there, but no. The culture of Funkystation shows up very easily. I'm just going to explain what's going on and how, as a medical team, despite the fact that normally on every other server, I'd be fighting with 20 other medics over injections and blah, 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 and all this crap. But instead, on Funkystation, we're working together. We're a team. Hey, we just revived the moth together. Now, how do we deal with the fact that their limbs don't work? Oh yeah, if you're from WizDead, Station and by extension Funky have limb targeting and different limb damage. So this moth is alive, but his arms and legs don't work because they're burnt separately to his internals and vital organs. So, like, he's alive. He's just in extreme pain because he's burnt all over his body due to the friggin' anomaly. So how do we deal with that? Easily. We work together. I ask some basic questions about how surgery works because I'm new to the server. And they're just like, yeah, here, that's how you fix it. You can tend to bruise or burn wounds. How do we fix the fact that their limbs are damaged? Cryogenics? Alright, cool. Let's get it with cryogenics. The extensive surgery does take forever, though. You can fix limbs and, like, specific damage with surgery, but, yeah. It takes a bit. And this guy, despite the fact that we're taking time to, you know, do our job and heal him because we're a little slow as medical, I'll be honest, he's not complaining. He's just role-playing it. And, like, this is a TA who's also whitelisted, to be fair. I was playing on a server, or Funkystation has two servers, one that's always on whitelist, and the other that turns off the whitelist sometimes to accommodate the new player event. Which, reminder, you can play on Funkystation if you're watching this video. They do a de-whitelist server time on weekends. I'll probably be on it. You can come find me on it. Have fun. Again, tell them I sent you. Have fun. Be normal. Like, I like to think that we're a pretty normal community. Just, if you're looking for something to do, set up a Peach Burger. You know, tell them your employees a Peach Burger. That's a fun gimmick to do. Anyways, another thing that just shows Funkystation in action perfectly. Like, we're role playing, and I decided, fuck it, I'm just gonna use my mystic arts and become a wizard like the last video. Like the last video. You thought that my wizard video was done. It is not. My wizard video is only just beginning. I shall use this magical artifact along with my feather wizards to heal me using the frost magics. And Arizia calls me Peach. Don't you ever fucking call me that ever again. I'll fucking kill you! Reference to Snap Cube if you don't know what that is. Yeah, so again, I am being encouraged in dicking around with a wizard thing. And honestly, like, as silly as it is, this is something that probably happens IRL. Like, think about it. Like, some kid who doesn't want, you know, to undergo the stressful surgery gets talked to by the wizard doctor, who dumbs it down and makes it silly. Now, obviously, this guy's not a kid, but sometimes we just want to be a little silly. And, you know, that's the culture of Funky. I think that's beautiful, honestly. Like, I have not seen an MRP server that's actually MRP. Starlight's closer to LRP. Delta is more of an HRP server. Same with Harmony, honestly. Although Harmony, you're probably wondering why I haven't made a video on Lone Head server Harmony yet. It's because I can never friggin' get in. Like, I'm whitelisted on it. Because, you know, I'm Acorn. But I just haven't been able to get in, and every round that I've gone in on, it's just been nothing. Even as medical. Like, medical is the first role I play in every new server, because medical always has something happening. Goob Station, medical's happening. Starlight, medical's happening. Wisden, medical's happening. It's my favorite role because you hear about everything going on along the station, and all that crap deviates right back to here. And you know what? I even commented in LOC about it. I asked them just straight up, is the server just usually this calm? Because it's, yeah. And like, obviously it varies. This in particular was a bit of a slower round. It took a bit to get going, but I'm having fun, and I'm having a medium roleplay experience. Fucking finally. The one complaint I do have, it takes literal years to cure anyone with the basic cure wounds thing, or TED wounds thing. Let me just speed this up for you. Yeah, it's real engrossing, huh? You know, just, Oh, also, this shift has had, like, a lot of stuff happen that I haven't really paid attention to. Mostly because none of it actually affects Med too much. Here's something that actually does affect Med. The AI is killing everyone. The AI got anti-mobbed and is now sucking all the air out of the station and electrifying all the doors. Luckily, a bunch of Tiders had a solution for that, and, oh hey, while I was, doing the yappening for the upteenth time, he was alive! We did it! We saved their life! They're alive! God damn it, Arizia, if you don't stop fucking calling me Peach, I will remove your godforsaken tongue! Another great example of just the general vibe of this environment here. Check out the scientist in the bottom left corner. They got severely burnt by something. I assume the guy with the fire anomaly who burned half the crew just didn't get it properly dealt with, because when is science ever competent? Or maybe that was the scientist that was dealing with it and then got set on fire. Anyway, point is, they have no limbs. Like, just straight up none. Their limbs all got burnt off in the catastrophe, and now they're literally just a torso and a head. So, yeah, that's certainly a thing. Anyway, how the hell do we cure that, you're wondering? Well, they just straight up don't have legs and arms, so we need a donor. We gotta find some sort of way to either create new arms through science, or take off their, the current arms of a different person and attach them to, the, person. And this person, like any other server, right? You would have a person complain about, like, oh my god, medical, oh my god, medical, hurry up, do your shit, oh my god, you're so slow, medical, meh, and like being like a whiny little bitch. You've probably seen them. The people that complain incessantly when medical isn't 100% efficient. God. But this person, they're just like saying stuff in LOOC, just having a good time. They're not mad. They're legitimately relaxed. And I'm just like, all right, well, idea, cloner. And that doesn't work because the occupant is living. They don't want to be cloned though, so that's something. I accidentally shoved myself in there. Tip, do not enter a cloner. It's not good for your health. Anyway, me and the other doc here are, or me and this guy who was, like, I assume their friend in character, or friend IRL, I have no idea. We're trying to figure out how the hell we're going to get this lady some new goddamn arms and legs. Which, like, dude, buddy, with respect, let me do my damn job. Let the doctor do the doctoring things. And yes, for reference, the AI is still malfed. And they're willing to take off an arm, but me as a doctor, I'm not willing to do that. I'm not willing to sacrifice someone else's ability to exist to give a patient new limbs. So you might be wondering, what the hell are we going to do with them? Well, I decided to ask the chaplain for a bit of help, and just ask them, do you got any, like, arms and legs and stuff in that chapel of yours? Because, for reference, this guy's chapel has been covered in blood, like, half the shift. Don't know what the hell's up with that, but, yeah. I asked them, they're like, let me go check, so, yeah, let me go skip to the part where they come back. You see, I'm about to remove the limbs from this moth because they're catatonic, when Jack Silver, the god chaplain, pun intended, shows up. Wait, this is a harpy? I thought this was a box. What the fuck? Whatever. Shows up with some new limbs for me. An entire locker full of just limbs. And, you know, I'm not one to look a gift horse in the mouth. Clearly, he got these through illicit means. I mean, how the hell is he going to manifest an entire person's worth of limbs? And, well, I'm just going to skip past the log attachment sequence. It's just me clicking on menus. It's very boring. Anyways, evacuation is here now, so that's a thing. And the patient, which I thought I put under, woke up and is now complaining that the nitros mix nearly killed me, which is, well, true, because I don't really know what the hell I'm doing with nitros mixes, but it didn't kill them, so shut up. You shut the fuck up. Stop fucking complaining. Lol. Please just let me reattach your goddamn limbs. Please, God, just reattach your goddamn limbs. There we go, we got all the limbs done. Unfortunately for them, the limbs are severely, severely damaged and are non-functional at the moment. But you know what? Evac's about to get here. Evac is already here. We should probably get there anyway. And it turns out that this patient is extremely whiny and not very appreciative of the fact that I literally just reattached all of their goddamn limbs. A little rude. And I think I might be handling a syndicate agent because they're ordering the morgues to kill me if we miss evac. That's not good for me. I'll be honest. That's really, really not good for me. So, you know, it's a little intimidating, but you know what? It's fine. Let me actually, like, make your limbs, like, function real quick, lady. I can, because I'm pretty sure if I don't do this, the Borgs are gonna fucking kill me. Because this is their master, and they have to protect their master. And if I don't know what they're gonna do to me. They're Engiborgs. Engiborgs are quite intelligent. That's nice. Anyway, as it turns out, it's much easier to just use a whole batch of bicardine in order to get their limbs refunctioning. So just gonna give them some bicard. Because as it turns out, chemicals affect each limb individually, which is so much easier than just doing surgery. Oh my god, is it so much easier than doing surgery. They also need blood, because those limbs I attached don't really contain blood very well. And a quick scan, and those limbs are actually going to work pretty damn soon. Peach Anger, Wizard Doctor, everyone. Anyway, that's the video. As a reminder, you can play on Funkystation right now if you're watching this premiere. I may or may not be on there myself when this video goes live, and I will be playing on there occasionally. Right now, their station, their server Cerno is currently open for random people, if you're, again, watching this upon release. They do it on weekends. I'm not sure if it's every weekend. I don't really care. But, yeah. You can go on there, tell them I sent you, be normal. Please don't make my community seem like a bunch of annoying shitters. And, yeah, that's just have fun. It's an MRP server, it's got Goom Station code, and it's generally all around fun. Every role I've played on it is fun in some way. It's even got unique Atmos things and stuff. The Super Matter is also a lot more robust than pretty much every other server. I'd like to thank my channel members, Sathier Lapin, Admiral Obvious, Loltart? Loltart? Yeah, Loltart. Loltart, Plansick, Wempus Warder, Phil Batima, Admiral Obvious, Sathier Lapin, Loltart. Yeah, okay, now I've said every single person on this list. Okay, cool, we're good. Yeah. Thank you so much for being a channel member, all that crap. Yeah. Thank you, support show, YouTube support show, down below. If you can't tell, I'm kinda tired. Anyway, that's the video. Bye bye.